I'm Rob Licuria, Senior Editor at Gold Derby, here with Jamie Dornan, who plays Pa in Kenneth Branagh's semi-autobiographical coming-of-age fable, Belfast. First of all, Jamie, we were talking offline about how much this film means to me and others that have seen it. I really would love to hear how this film resonates with you personally.
Yeah, it's massive. You know, that's been the strange thing. Cause I'm from Belfast. My father's from Belfast. His father before him. His father before him. So it's for obvious reasons resonated, but it's been amazing seeing how it's resonated with people from all over the world. Have come up to us from, you know, Haiti to Ghana to Nigeria to everywhere, Italy to anything. Saying like that's my story, and like that's nuts for us, like, you know, particularly nuts for Ken to experience that. But a lot of people can relate. You know, at the end of the day, it's centered around the family. Pretty much all of us can relate to that. And sadly, many people can relate to civil unrest within their own community. But for me, yeah, listen, from Belfast, have just huge admiration and respect for people from where I'm from. The hardship that everyone, whether you're right in the thick of it or not, whether you're born at the beginning of the conflict, the middle of the conflict, the end of the conflict, you have been affected by what went on. And so the resilience and the humor of those people means so much to me, and it's a joy to be a part of something that shows that in a different light than how it has been before, and through a different lens than how it has been before, through the eyes of a 9-year-old boy and through a normal family who weren't asking for any of it. And we've seen versions of the Troubles depicted before in brilliant ways and necessary ways, but never like this, and that's meaningful to me.
Yeah, that's spot on. I think that's exactly the reason why it was so compelling, and that's because of watching this through Buddy's eyes. And I think there's a way in for everybody. Like for me as a dad, I was just really, really kind of keyed into your character's story and that desire to want to, you know, protect and look after them. So that being said, given you've said how this film is so popular around the world now, you did go to the premiere at Belfast, and I'm curious to see what it was like to be in attendance at that premiere and how you felt then.
Was just like nothing I've ever experienced watching a movie before. Like truly, I was beside myself before I got to the, you know, the press line and everything. I felt really like physically sick. I often feel a wee bit like that anyway. I'm nervous leading up to stuff, and sometimes because I have a feeling people aren't going to like it, or, you know, I have a feeling, you know, I've experienced everything so far in my career in terms of that, and but this, bringing it home to the people of Belfast. I've never done a premiere in Belfast. I've never shown a movie I've done or anything in Belfast before, so that was unique in itself. But this story of all stories, story for the people, and we could get all the praise around the world and win all these lovely audience awards at different film festivals around the world. But Jesus, it just mattered so much with people from that city, I think, you know. So we were all just carrying this weight of expectation and hope and fear that it would be received well there. You know, and also I had some of my best friends there. I had my sisters with me, my auntie, my dad's sister. I lost my dad at the beginning of this year to COVID. Yeah. This movie would have meant so much to him. So there was the heightened emotion of all that. I was just a wreck, an absolute wreck. And then once I got sort of mumbled my way through the press line and got in, and then even from being in that space, and it was in the Waterfront Hall, which is one of our biggest concert venues. It isn't usually a cinema, so it's a huge scale. You know, there's 1,500 people in there, and it was palpable sense of appreciation right from the beginning of it. You know, obviously in on all the humor of it because it's their humor. And just they seem to be on our side from beat one of it, really, truly, and you get to feel it. It was tangible in the room. A very emotional situation with my Ken dedicated the movie to my dad before it even started. So I'm having the whole family shaking in tears before we even kick off this thing. So it's just, you know, it was special, truly, truly special night. And the sort of release and the relief of it playing well with those people and then giving us a standing ovation, all the stuff that came with it. It was just one of the best nights of my life, truly.
Yeah, it sounds like a night you'll never forget. That's a great story.
Job, you know, Harris Zambulikis, our DP, is a master. They you know, they'd set it up that, you know, a lot of the emotion of that is done by what they're doing with the camera. But yeah, it's a tough moment. It's a tough moment in the movie. Jesus, particularly now in light of losing my father since filming it. It's a tough moment to watch. So yeah, I'm glad it's even by you alone being appreciated.
Yeah, it really was. The way it was edited, just everything. Jude, and speaking of, I spoke to him last week. I mean, he's just such an incredible kid. He's just so engaging. And he said some wonderful stuff about you. Obviously, he's not going to slag you, but he did say that you guys slag each other a lot, because that's what Northern Irish, or Irish, like Aussies, we love to slag our best mates. So what was it like working with him?
I mean, look, that, as you say, Aussies, I know I've just worked in Australia for 5 months. It's and any Aussies I've ever worked with or come along outside of my career, and you know, that's the same. I think Aussies and Irish people are very similar, actually, in our sort of sledging of each other, and I think that's a really healthy thing. You know, there's a different version where it's like bullying or something. Sure, that's, no one wants that, but when it's lighthearted and you give it back as good as you take it, I think it's great, and it, you know, it is the purest sign of affection, isn't it? Really, it means you truly like someone the more you take the mickey out of them. So Jude must really like me, because he really takes it out of me. And I can give it back to him as much as I feel comfortable, but you know, there's a point where I'm like, he's 10, I'm nearly 40. I don't really want to be like putting him down all the time, you know. But so it's trying to find that line between, you know, mucking about and having a laugh, but also like trying to get a dig in, you know. But it was just, you know, he was just up for the ride. You know, he was really like, he sort of brought this perfect blend of like being really prepared, ready, never stumbling on his lines, like honestly, ever. And he had so much to do, but also there to play and there to have fun, and that's all about, you know, and that's what it's about for Judi Dench. That's what it's about for Kieran Hines. And that's what it's about for Ken. You know, do all the work, turn up, everyone's super prepared, but then we're having fun. And Jude just was clued in that immediately. And this is his first thing, you know, it's mad, you know, it's his first ever job.
I know, like,
and he was such a pro. It was like we're like learning stuff from him. He was like 9 at the time, or 10. It was just mad. I love him. He's a brilliant kid and a brilliant actor, and he's doing so much there. And you know, so much of it with Jude is, as you know, with the story and the way it's shot, it's observing the action, observing his parents, observing his grandparents. So listening, there's so much listening, and you don't need me to tell you that's what acting is. And he has such a grasp of that. He's a great, it's not just like, I'm going to say my line and I'm going to do it with energy because that's what my drama teachers told me to do. Yeah. It's none of that. It's like just being still and listening. And he just is mesmeric with it, you know.
Yeah.
Just pure joy. I love him.
And I mean, yeah, I totally agree. I was just so impressed with him. And you mentioned Karen and Judi Dench, legends. And of course, one of my favorite actors is Katrina Balfe, right? I think she's just so brilliant. And it was so great to see her cast in this film as Ma. And obviously, I've seen you guys in media appearances. You obviously get along quite well. But what did you most value about working with Katrina?
We were at every step of the way on the exact same page, and not even on the same page, like on the same syllable of the same line on the same page. We were just like, it was like a meeting of minds in terms of how we approached the work, what we thought we wanted out of the scene, what the intentions of character were, where they were in their relationship at that point, how that was affecting the kids, how much fun we were going to have to do it. When we were doing, there was a fair bit of improvisation in this film that Ken just trusted us with. We were always totally in tune when it came to that. It was just so easy, you know, that isn't always the case, where you get a dance partner who is just in rhythm with you. I mean, you know, literally we had to dance with each other too.
Yeah.
That was something that was kind of uncomfortable for both of us. But when it came to, you know, the drama of it all, and the lighthearted and the fun and the comedy and the romance of it all, we were just really in tune. We were just aligned. And she's just a brilliant girl, like just brilliant, and a phenomenal actress. And I'm so glad. I've actually never seen her. I've seen a bit of Ford versus Ferrari. I've never seen Outland. So I actually, my sort of take on Katrina Balfe being a good actor is Belfast and getting to watch her every day. And like, if this is all I have, then I think she's one of the greatest actors of her generation. I do. I think she's just so brilliant in this film. She's just brilliant. She just owns it. She owns it. And you know, if I could do every job with Katrina Balfe, I'd be a very happy boy.
Oh, I totally understand. She's amazing. Now, every journalist that you've spoken to wants to talk about Everlasting Love, and fair enough. Like, it was a great scene. It was a great release for my wife and I watching this film, and it was something happy and it made me feel really good. How about you? Like, was it a terrifying prospect? Was it challenging? Did you enjoy it? Talk us through that scene, because it is absolutely a great one.
It was, you know what, it does, as you say, it comes at a point where it's a relief. There's been tough roads that were gone down leading up to it. Obviously, like, much of a spoiler, you know, too big a spoiler here, but it comes at a very sad point where I do think we need to just release. And we were very aware when we're shooting it that would be the case. And we're also very aware, you know, all the actors were Irish, bar Judy, and we know that you release and awake, you sing, and you dance and you drink and you embrace the life that has left you. And so there's something about that charged the energy in the room that day, I feel. And it was also one of the only scenes where so many of us were together, you know, and all the sort of cousins and the aunties and all these other sort of people who are sort of on the periphery of the story, we all came together. The minister, Jesus, I could see, like all of us in the room at that time, getting to play with this song that is like a gift. This song is so, I've always loved that song, and I've always felt that it's an underappreciated song. It's a very interesting song. Structurally, it's a very interesting song. And I've always, every time I ever heard that in my life, I went, Jesus, that's a brilliant tune. Like, what a tune that is. Like, why? I feel like it's not a big enough, you know, anthemic song. I had a great luxury of recording, because it's my vocals sort of overlaid with the original vocals from Love Affair. Yeah. But we didn't record my vocal until after. So if I was having to sing it live, different story, you know, just pure terror. But so it was tough enough even to lip sync with it, you know. And also there's the dance moves of it all, and you know, I'm not, you know, for the most part, I'm not freestyling up there with, you know, that's all been heavily choreographed. So it was the fear of getting that right. Katrina and I had spent, you know, many's an afternoon in the sort of like in a church space at this school that we've been filming at, going over those moves, which was not coming that easy to us. But it was a sort of joyous day. I could have just done it all day. I just felt like I just wanted to play with it all day. Katrina was just giving me so much back. I was just like, I think every beat that she does and the way she's looking at me was just everything I needed to portray what I was trying to portray to her, and say, listen, I know we're going through the ringer here and it's not all perfect, but I fucking love you. Like, I just, don't worry about that. That is not going away. Hence the title of the song. That is, we are good. Like, I know we're not always good, but ultimately we are good. And I think that came across, hopefully.
It did. That's, again, such a universal thing for married couples to go through, about everything, about anything, you know, but with all the storm, we're still good, right? And that's, I again, got that out of that song. Man, I wish I could talk to you for hours, but I know you have lots of other things going on today. So thank you for your time, Jamie. I really, honestly love this movie. I'm so grateful for it. And I'm really, really impressed with all the cast, and good luck this award season, man.
Thanks, Rob. I really appreciate it. Thanks, man.